Good morning, boat lovers. Back in the boat shed again. We'll get some lights on in here and then I'll give you a bit of a tour of what's been happening over the last week. I'm not going to use those work lights again while I'm filming because they make everything look weird. Okay, plug a few things in. I'm just going to open the big shed door as well because that lets a lot of light in, natural light. Hello boat lovers, welcome aboard. I'm Steve and I'm single-handedly building Dragonfly. She's a 53 foot or 16.2 metre flat bottom wooden riverboat. She includes twin outboards, aft cabin, galley, a saloon, wheelhouse, separate head and shower and a centerline queen double up front. She's specifically designed for the sheltered and inland waters of the River Murray here in South Australia. Join us each week to watch the mayhem and madness of one man and his rescue dog building a massive 53 foot flat bottom wooden riverboat. I'm going to give you a bit of a guided tour since we haven't been through the boat for ages. We've only been working on the front. So here we go. So I think you guys have seen my nice new floor, but nonetheless I'm going to whiz down here. Definitely progress, and I'm going to try and give you guys a tour from the back. So you've seen all my engine bays, they're looking good, heavily fiberglassed, ready to go. Here we go, a little bit of a walk through. I'll see if I can do this smoothly. Here we go, going from the outside area, through the galley, through the saloon, which is looking pretty spiffy, up the newly varnished steps, into the wheelhouse. Now down here we've got well, we do have those work lights on. I'll hopefully get past those. Here we go. Alright, so this is the bedroom obviously, with all the masking tape off, showing the finish. My nice varnished beams, all the timber trim, and half strength USA white for my finish, which is a lovely soft white. Still allows the room to have lots of light, but not too glossy. So it's a low gloss antique white USA. So I'll spin you guys around. I've also done the toilet area, so that's done. Yeah, I'm sorry, it's a little bit dark in here, but I'm trying not to use too much of those work lights because they make everything look weird. So yesterday, I put this trim around the toilet door. So I've used one little face piece to go around the edge of the plywood, and then a cover strip on each side to make a really nice edging here. I wanted to keep this fairly thin because we're going to have a sliding door on the inside, so I think that works okay. I don't know if you can see, if the camera will pick it up, but I've rounded these corners. That kind of looks nice. I'm going to do that with all the tops of all the doors. And then this morning I will be doing the same thing here on the shower door. So you can probably see, if I get a little close up there, of how I've got this little cover strip on the edge of the plywood. And then we have a cover piece down each side that I'll be putting on to lock that into place, firm it all up, and give us a nice finish on the door. So yeah, that's pretty much an update on that area. What else is there to tell you? The window guys have come out and checked all my templates, and they were all okay. I've taken a few extra measurements. Just after Christmas we should get all the windows. I'm not ready to put them in yet because of course I have to fiberglass the outside of the boat first. But this is an example of the framing for the windows. That's the profile. And it's got the flange around the outside. This one is bent like this just to show me the tightest radius that they can get, which is a 60 mil diameter radius. So that's actually the curve that we're going to have. Hopefully you can see that. Bring the camera over a little bit. That's the curve. Actually goes on the outside, of course, like so. And on the inside of these windows, I'm going to be having a timber trim as a flange, just to, again, to stiffen up the edges of the window, but also to finish things neatly. So that's pretty exciting, and I'm really happy with the guys from, I think I'll have to check, All Sliding Windows at Windsor Gardens, which is a suburb in Adelaide. These guys have been around for many years. They did all the windows in my last boat, which was over 20 years ago, and their system hasn't really changed because they work so efficiently. They're just really great guys to work with. So I'll put their details on the screen somewhere. Yeah, so lots of progress. Excuse my coughing, still got the little leftover dry cough from COVID. Almost gone, and I'm feeling 100% fit, other than when I'm speaking a lot. Occasionally I just get that little cough, but it's nearly gone. So feeling really good, and up and at 'em. All right, so as I say, this morning I'm going to work on putting the trim around that door, get all those clamps off. I've decided that I am going to varnish these walls here. Everything else down there is white, but this little hallway, I'll varnish these so it matches the top of this, and also varnish the ceiling there. Then I'm going to start working, once I've done that trim, I'm going to start working down here in the saloon. So I think the first thing to do in here, hopefully I get to it today, is going to be sanding everything. Most things I've already sanded, so it's just a little touch up to make sure I haven't missed anything. And then I will be varnishing the feature timber work, like the beams on top here. Again, these little edges, and then the edges around the bunks. So the edges around here, the surface of the bunks, I might as well varnish those as well, give them a sand and varnish. There's no point in painting them white. They're not going to be seen anyway, but I might as well just clear coat those. And so from here down is all varnished, down to the floor, but the walls in here and the ceiling, apart from the beams, will all be the same white as up the front. So yes, if I can get that trim on the bathroom door, then I'm going to move back into the saloon, which is really exciting. I'm not going to fiberglass the bathroom yet, the shower. Obviously I have to fiberglass that whole recess to make it completely waterproof, but I'm going to do that, I think, when I'm ready to fiberglass the outside of the boat. I don't have the cloth here at the moment, and I want to buy myself a full roll rather than just buying just enough to do that room. I'd like to buy it in quantity because it's so much cheaper. So I think that I'll get the inside of the boat as finished as I can, and then once I get the fiberglass roll here ready for the outside of the boat, I'm going to concentrate on fiberglassing, over a couple of weeks. And I'll start with the shower recess, get that fully sealed, and then the big job of working my way around the outside of the boat. That of course is going to require, first of all, sanding everything, filling and fairing. So all the edges, for example, you know, all these edges here get sanded back nicely. Eventually they'll all have a little cover strip on these corners, same as these pieces here, but everything will get sanded back and then fiberglass. And I think, well, here we go. I think I'll be starting, when I do start fiberglassing, I'll start on the very top, get everything done, hang plastic around the outside, and I'll just work my way down. It's only going to be a 200 GSM woven cloth, so that's a fairly thin cloth, and it's not for strength, it's purely just to protect the timber, to stop paint from cracking or crazing, etc. It's what I used on my last boat, and it's stood up for 20 years so far with no issues. So yes, it'll be just a 200 GSM cloth over all the surfaces, and then there'll be a good 2-pack paint over the top of that. So yes, sanding and then filling all the little screw holes and everything else, and then sanding again, a little bit of fairing, and get everything nice and smooth. Paint it with a high build epoxy paint first, and that allows you to sort of fair a bit better. You can build up any low areas, etc. So a couple of coats of the high build, as they call it, and then put the paint on top. And as I think I've mentioned to you guys before, I'm not looking for a super duper immaculate finish here. I'm looking for a functional, comfortable, nice looking finish. I want a boat where people can take they don't have to worry about taking their shoes off. The dog can run around, you know. I want it to look nice, but not like a pristine wooden boat showcase. So a nice, practical, user-friendly, comfortable boat to be in. And my wife, being a building designer and interior designer, etc., I'm sure she's going to do an amazing job when it gets to the time of upholstery and awnings and furnishings and things like that. She just has the knack of making things look fantastic. So there's that little COVID cough again, sorry about that. Today is a stunning day. I think it's just a beautiful, mild summer's day. Yesterday was nice as well, but pretty hot. And the day before yesterday, we just had torrential rain all day, just unbelievable, which is fantastic because my rainwater tanks are full. We have two 115,000 litre water tanks, and they're both full, which is great. And of course, the rain just keeps everything nice and green. In our area here, through summer, all the paddocks and everything else, of course, brown off, because that's just what happens with our seasons. But the lawn around the house is really just a bit of a mixture of lawn and weed patch, and it is very patchy, and so it doesn't hold water very well. So at this stage, I haven't bothered to try and irrigate it to keep it really green through summer. That's going to happen when the boat's finished and I get around to redoing all the lawn areas, well, coring them, top dressing and sowing more seed, etc. But anyway, that's a diversion from boat building. We don't need to talk about landscaping. So there we go. That's pretty much what I'm up to, I think. It gives you guys a bit of an update. I've been a bit slack with the videoing because I've just been, apart from COVID and all the other interruptions, I've just been so busy and mentally occupied with working out things to do that I haven't really had the headspace to grab the camera and try and bring you guys up to date. But I thought I'd just have a bit of a rave and a rant today about where I'm at, and I'm pretty happy with everything. I'm still wondering, well, I've had a few thoughts about the gas situation. Definitely going to have gas for my hot water service because I always do that on boats and it's fantastic. But I was wondering, a couple of you commented about sort of going electric with solar panels and more batteries, etc. I'm just wondering whether I could get away with running my fridge, like a full-size fridge. I think it's a 94 litre, full-size fridge, and also the cooking facilities. If I could do that with electric, maybe you guys could let me know your thoughts. I will always have a generator to, where I can top up batteries if they need recharging. But I'm not really up to date or up to speed with, the latest and greatest with battery setups and solar panels and running things on electric. I'm certainly interested in looking at those options. So I haven't installed my gas lines yet. So if you've got any thoughts on that, let me know. I'm going to explore all areas and end up making a decision one way or the other. But right now, get back into everything else. Oh, another thing that I need to do is, of course, the catwalk around the sides of the boat. I still haven't filled that in yet. It's actually not a big job. The reason I haven't done it yet is because I'm going to run some PVC pipe through the sides of the boat here, so I can feed the control cables, throttle cables, steering cables, etc. through there down to the back. And I haven't gone and got the pipe for that yet. I need to put the trailer on the car to get that. It's not a big deal, but again, I just haven't got around to it. But I will very soon put that pipe through and put the catwalk around the side of the boat, which means at the same time, I'll also be putting the aft deck on, which will be fantastic. And then I'll be able to walk around the boat all the way around properly, which is going to feel great. Something I probably should have done ages ago, but sometimes you're working on one job for such a long time that you just got to stop and do something different, to relieve the boredom of being, sort of on one thing, or at least so it feels like you're making progress. So there's the gunnels, the catwalk around this side. All my wiring is probably going to run internally inside the boat, in the back of the cupboards running along the sides of the boat. That way everything will be completely accessible from inside the boat. I don't have to run the wiring along the gunnels. Wiring and plumbing is really pretty much a retrofit once everything else is done. I mean, I'm keeping in mind where things are going to go, but it's the sort of thing, everything will be completely finished and painted, all done, and then I'll be fitting my wiring, plumbing, etc. All right, folks, hopefully that's a bit of an update. I better get on with it.
6 drops of the essence of terror, 5 drops of sinister sauce. When the stirring's done, may I lick the spoon? Of course, of course. Now for the tincture of tenderness, but I must use only a touch. For without a touch of tenderness, it might destroy me. Looks too much. Better hold your breath, it's starting to tick. Better hold my hand, I'm feeling sick.
Roger, 0G, and I feel fine. 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 And I feel fine.
Okie dokie, that one is done. Give you a bit of a look. Here we go. If I can get back far enough. Used nearly all my clamps doing this. Got that little rounded top that I was speaking about. I think that looks okay. Down the other side. So tomorrow, this will be dry enough for me to come in, sand all this edging, and hopefully varnish this area. And then we can move forward, as I say. Well, even today I'm going to start in the saloon. So, but right now, I don't know how long have I been out here. Well, it's 20 to 10. I think I got out here at 8 o'clock. So I'm going to go and have some breakfast or a cup of coffee, maybe just a coffee, and then come back and get stuck into the saloon. All right, coffee time. Also gave Maple a wash this morning before I started, and my wife Amanda has just got back from taking Maple for a walk in the national park. So I think we're going to have one very happy dog. When we give her a wash, it always calms her down, and she seems to be really chilled afterwards for a couple of days, so that's a good thing. Alrighty folks, I'm going to see you after my cuppa.